So, Christian, we talked through really the most common question that is on agents' minds these days, but probably the second place favorite question is, what about the timeline? What is the timeline of all of this that's happening in our world?
Well, the timeline is a little tricky. And I have to start by saying, don't pay attention to everything that you're hearing on social media, things that you might be hearing from other markets. Every market is a little bit different in terms of how they're going to implement the timeline. So make sure that you're paying attention to the timeline in your market. I'm going to talk specifically about the Kansas City timeline and really specifically about our timeline here at BHG, which really mirrors what was presented and what is going to be presented by KCRIR and Heartland MLS and how they're addressing the timeline. So Monday, August 5th is really the first big important date you need to pay attention to if you're in Kansas City. That is a date that the amendments are going to be released. And these are amendments to your current active exclusive right to sell, any listing contracts that you have, or any buyer agency contracts that you have. Those clients, existing clients, will need to have this amendment signed for two reasons. One, they're really important disclosures about the settlement and practice changes that we want to make sure clients are aware of. And then second, we have to amend the compensation paragraph of our existing listing agreements and buyer agency contracts. So those are going to be really critical to get signed between August 5th and August 14th. August 14th is the next big date that you need to be thinking about. And that is what I call kind of our drop dead date. I call it D-Day. I call it, that is our hard cutover, where you are going to wake up on August 14th and dot loop is going to look different, or whatever forms provider you use, I assume will look different. But I know for us, it's dot loop, and it'll look completely different in terms of the forms that are going to be available in there. In the past, whenever we do form changeovers, we usually have a grace period of several weeks up to several months where the old forms are available. This is going to be completely different. It is going to be a hard cutoff where the forms that were available on the 13th, any forms that came out that are new, your listing agreements, your buyer agency agreements, even the residential contract, land contract, new homes contract that are provided by KCRIR. Any of the forms that have changed are going to be, the old ones will be gone and the new ones will be there. So you want to make sure on August 14th that when you pull forms, if you're writing an offer on August 14th, that you're pulling the new forms in. I want to back up just a second, Patrick, and talk about that August 5th to August 14th. The other important thing to remember there is that amendment needs to be taken out with you if you are signing any agreements, any agency relationship agreements between those dates. So if you have somebody that calls you on August 6th and says, want you to come over, and Patrick, come over, I'm ready to list my house, can you come tomorrow? Great. You're going to use an old exclusive listing agreement, exclusive right to sell, but you're going to attach the amendment to it because they need to sign the new compensation agreement. So anything that any new agreements you're signing during that time period of August 5th to August 14th, you will need to sign. Now, the amended language doesn't become effective until August 14th. So while your client might sign it on August 6th, it doesn't actually become effective until August 14th. And the reason for this is if we made it become effective the day that they sign it, it's going to get really messy because compensation fields are still visible in MLS. As of August 14th, when you wake up, all compensation fields are going to have been removed from MLS. So it makes most logical sense to have the hard cutoff and switch over on August 14th. These amendments will go into effect. New forms will come out. We'll be, of course, talking about and training on new forms before then, but do not use those until August 14th. Don't use the amendment prior to August 5th. You'll want to use that amendment August 5th to the 14th, very, very, very short time period, and then all new forms starting on August 14th. So it is as I call it, if you're a BHG agent, you've heard me say a million times, the messy middle. Here we go. It's going to be the messy middle.
I like what you said. The buck stops on August 14th is what I got out of that. And, I'm the guy that sets like 3 alarms every morning to wake up on time to get to work. I'm going to set 5 alarms on August 14th. We'll keep you updated. Thanks for sharing some timeline info, Christian. But good clip. We're helping you be better agents. I love that.